Welcome to the Master Passive Income Podcast. My name's Dustin Heiner, and in the Master Passive Income Podcast, we talk all about real estate rental properties and business and how we can build an automatic business that makes money for us every single month. That's right, money going into our pocket so that we can pay our bills, we can have fun traveling the world, buy things we need, take care of our family, all those great things without even working. Now, when I was 37 years old, I quit my job because I had enough rental properties bringing in money every single month into my pocket. And now I will literally never, ever need another job again. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about establishing, building, and using your business credit. Now, when you have just one rental property, well, that is actually a business. The IRS sees it as a business, so you can take it full advantage of everything that your business has. Now, we're going to talk all about your business credit and how I've saved and made so much money because of my business credit. All right, now let's get into the show where we talk all about how your business can make and save and create more money for you than you ever thought possible. All right, guys, let's get in there and start the show.
Welcome to the Master Passive Income Podcast, where we talk about all aspects of real estate rental properties with a special focus on making enough money so you can quit your job and live the dream life. And now, here is your host, Dustin Heiner.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for being here, a part of the Master Passive Income Podcast. I'm super excited that you are on this journey with me. It's so exciting to see so many people falling in love with real estate, and not just real estate, but passive income. Income that comes in your pocket every single month without even working. Like, no kidding, I literally only work 1 hour a month, an entire month. And really, the only thing that I do is look at the property management statement once a month that I get from my property managers, verify income and expenses and things like that, just make sure everything's running well. So you can be just like me, where you only work an hour a month. I super enjoy working with my students who, after buying their first, second, third, or even 10th or 15th property, they're able to quit their job, like literally never work again. Now, the reason why I have this podcast is because I really enjoy talking about real estate. I enjoy helping people see that they can quit their job, that their lives can change, that they can actually live the dream life and never work a job again. I want to give a shout out to somebody who left a review for my podcast. I really appreciate it. Now, the name of the person is actually rather funny. It's this person that wrote the review. His name is Eat Too Much All the Time. Now, hopefully he's not referring to me, because I do eat all the time, probably eat too much all the time, but maybe he's referring to himself. But that's the name, that's the handle he gave himself, Eat Too Much All the Time. But he says in the review, what a good podcast. He teaches so much and gives so many pro tips. The best thing is his energy. He always is so happy and excited and just wants to help. Finding this podcast was a blessing. I would highly recommend listening to this podcast and visiting his website. Thanks, Dustin. Hey, Eat Too Much All the Time. Thank you so much for that review. I really appreciate it. And I wanted to give you a shout out because I really do appreciate the people that leave reviews and also that are really looking to change their life. And so Eat Too Much All the Time, hopefully just like everybody else out there that's listening to this, hope you get a lot out of this podcast, because not everything is going to be all glamorous. Like, you have to save money to buy rental properties. You have to cut expenses to buy rental properties. Like, this is not a get rich quick scheme, but it is a get wealthy plan. When I say wealthy, it's not like I make $1 million and then it goes away. No, I continually make money over and over and over again. I buy a property once, and until I sell the property, I will continually make money. And also, this is wealth that I can pass down to my children, and they can pass down to their children. That's true wealth. That's not just money. If I pass down money to my kids, it'll be gone. I don't know how long it'll take if let's say I give them $1 million. It'll take, probably 10, 15 years of expenses and probably making some mistakes, buying a Ferrari or something like that. Probably, hopefully not. Hopefully I raise them better than that. But it will eventually go away because no more money's coming in. It's like the old adage, you want to teach somebody to fish rather than give them a fish. I'm saying it completely wrong. But if you give them a fish, you'll feed them for that one day. But if you teach them how to fish, they'll be able to eat the rest of their life on fish. Now, I want you to realize something. If you work a job, if you're more than likely from sales tax to income tax to state income tax and other fees, Medicare, Medicaid, all that sort of stuff, all those fees and all those taxes, you're basically paying 50% in taxes if you add everything up. Now, 50%, think of an entire year. 50% of an entire year of you working goes to pay taxes. All those taxes. So imagine you're going to work from January to December. How horrible would this be if from January to June you did not even get a paycheck because it was automatically taken out of your pocket? Well, you wouldn't do that, right? Well, that's the way it works out. Over the entire year, half of your paycheck goes out. Property taxes for your personal home, sales tax, income tax, state income tax, all these fees. So many things come out of your pocket. So basically, you only get 50% of what you work for in somebody else, and earned income goes in your pocket. Now, when you're an investor like me, you get taxed at a totally different tax bracket. You get taxed at capital gains tax as an investment tax. And so I get charged 15% as opposed to 35% or more for an earned income tax. And so I want to encourage you to work really, really hard to never need a job, because if you're working a job, you're really just getting the shaft, or it's a really crude way of saying it, I apologize, but you're not being taken care of. They're taking your money. Now, here's another thing. I never watched, literally never watched 60 Minutes. It used to be pretty good back when my parents were watching it, but it got pretty, irritating to watch. So I think the last time I watched 60 Minutes was maybe 20 years ago. But I was hooking up my digital antenna onto my TV. It was literally last night or 2 nights ago. I was hooking it up so I can get free television, so I don't have to keep paying money for stupid cable that I barely even watch. So I was getting rid of that. I was hooking up an antenna, and I was making sure the channels worked. Well, I flipped it and found a channel that was working, and apparently it was 60 Minutes that was playing, whatever station that was playing. But it was 60 Minutes. And it caught my eye. Usually I would just flip it right off, but there was the anchor, or the person that was interviewing about China, and not just about China, but about artificial intelligence and how that's going to be working its way into our economy, into our lives, even much more so than we think it is now. I mean, you think of things like Alexa and was that Siri for Apple, whatever those other ones where you say, hey Google, or hey this, or hey that, and they tell you what you want to learn. Well, it's going to get even more so than that. And so when I was watching 60 Minutes, it had interviewed this gentleman. His name is Kai-Fu Lee, and he is from Indonesia, I think. But anyways, he's working in China. He actually was an executive for Google, Apple, and even Microsoft in their executive team, really like the top dogs. But he has since stopped that, and he's had his own business developing AI, or artificial intelligence. He's the author of the book AI Superpowers. Now, I'm absolutely not recommending this book. I'm just saying that he wrote a book. So I've never read it. I just know that he wrote the book AI Superpowers. He stated that 40% of all jobs will be lost to artificial intelligence in the next 15 years. I mean, let that sink in. 40% of all jobs in the world lost to artificial intelligence, or AI. I'll refer to it as AI from now on. But AI in 15 years, 40% of all jobs, that's almost half of all jobs out there. How horrible would that be if you had a job that all of a sudden, you kind of see it coming. Hey, they're talking about bringing in this new computer or this new system or whatever, and then your job's gone. And he was even saying not just automated cars, not just driving, but he's even talking about chefs or concierges, or even higher white collar type things. He's saying that artificial intelligence is going to take over. Now, let's just say we're absolutely skeptical. This guy is off his rocker. He's from China, or he's from this place, or whatever you want to think. He's completely wrong. And maybe in China it's going to take away all those jobs, but not in America. Or maybe in America, but not in China. Or, maybe you're skeptical. Let's just say, what if it was half of his projected, jobs being lost? 20% of all jobs being lost in 15 years. Now, I might be skeptical, but let's say 10% of all jobs, or 5% of all jobs being lost. That's a lot of drain or a lot of rough work on the economy that is going to make it really hard for just normal people to live, because if you lose your job, how are you going to make money? Now, that's sad to say that worst case scenario, we have 40% or more people losing their job. Now, how about where you become successfully unemployed, where you never need a job again, where you say, you know what, jobs, those are for the birds. Like we don't want no job. We don't need a job. I became successfully unemployed because of my rental properties, because of the automatic business that I created, and I will literally never need a job. I also have 4 kids. I provide for them with that business. My wife, she stays home. She homeschools. She does all the hard work. I get to do all the easy stuff. She does the hard work of homeschooling kids. Now, on top of that, like I said earlier, I am able to give my wealth to my children. And not only my wealth, I am going to give them every bit of the knowledge that I have for them to build their own business. And so I have an online course as well as coaching that I do with many, many students. My online course, it takes somebody from no properties, no money, no knowledge, no nothing, to in the end having a fully functioning automatic business. I'm going to be taking my kids through this. I'm going to be coaching them through this because I don't want them to have a job. I want them to realize that jobs are for suckers. Sorry to say if you have a job, but hopefully you're working your way out of it. I want you to never need a job. Same thing, I want my kids to never need a job. Now, I do have a lot of students say, hey, I'm looking in this area, you invest there. Are you okay if I invest there? I don't want to get into your territory or your area. And I say, no, absolutely not. There are so few investors in so many properties that I am not concerned at all about you taking any properties that I might take or whatever it might be. And so anybody listening to this, if you think, oh man, I might be jumping in onto Dustin's territory or whatever, no, it's not the case. There are so many properties. And so if you're listening to this podcast and you're thinking, man, real estate, there's so many people that are already doing real estate. How would I get into it? Well, I'm going to tell you right now that there is so few investors and so many properties. There's so many ridiculous amount of properties that you can buy and turn into a rental property that there are not nearly as many investors that can even handle the load. That's why there's so many homeowners. So what I'm telling you is, if 40% of all jobs are lost in 15 years to AI, don't let that be you. I want you for the next 15 years be working your tail off to save money. Put it in your pocket or in your savings account, like I talked to you about last week. If you go to masterpassiveincome.com/bank, BANK, masterpassiveincome.com/bank, that's where I store all of my money. I get 2.45% return on my money every single month while I'm waiting to buy an investment property. So I want you to be working for the next 15 years before your job is replaced by an AI, artificial intelligence system, and save money. Cut expenses, try to increase your income, and then buy properties. And when you buy properties, this is the path to wealth. Save, cut expenses, increase your income somehow, drive for Uber or something like that, and then buy a property. And when you buy that property, do not spend that money that property makes. So let's say you're making $250 a month from that one property. From that one property, then save that money so that in a year, you'll have $3,000 saved up, or 2 years, you'll have $6,000 saved up to buy another property, and snowball that money into another property. Keep spending that money, not on yourself, not on things, but on more properties that make you more money. And if you do not want to be one of those people that are replaced by AI, artificial intelligence, and you want to start investing, you want to start building a business that runs itself, go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. I have a free course for you that's going to get you started investing in real estate, get your mind and eyes open to how amazing real estate investing is. So again, masterpassiveincome.com/free course. Go there and get your free course right now. Okay, now I want to get into business credit. Now, I get a lot of people asking me, what do I do about business credit? How do I go about, get a tax identification number? How do I make sure that I'm running my business right? Now, I'm going to wholeheartedly say, talk to your accountant, talk to your lawyer. Don't talk to, Bob down the street, or don't take my word for it. I'm giving you insights that I've gleaned from my accountant, my, tax professional, my lawyers. But at the same time, I'm probably going to be getting it wrong. I'm giving you a broad overview. I want you to talk to the paid professionals to make sure you're going to do it right. Because the last thing you want to do is do it wrong, and then all of a sudden you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So everything I'm going to talk to you about right now, it's really high, broad overview, high level. But talk to your accountant. Make sure that everything's going in the right direction you want to go. I'm giving you a primer for everything. Now, your goal should never be an employee again. You never want to be working for somebody else. You want other people to work for you. Now, the way to do that is to own your own business. Oh, one better than that. Let me tell you one better. Have a passive income business. I've had businesses where I've had employees. Well, it's so horrible having employees. Not saying not saying that the employees were horrible. It's just hard to manage employees. When they're sick, or something bad happens, or whatever it might be. There's a lot of work. I have a passive income business that literally runs itself, and I don't work. You want a business, a passive income business that makes you money if you work or not, and that is a rental property, real estate investing business. Now, when you invest in a rental property, when you buy just one property, it becomes a business. IRS, the tax government organization, they see one property as a business. And you will also get, with that one business, amazing benefits that only businesses get. Now, let me run through a quick list of amazing benefits and this is not exhaustive list, there's probably more, amazing benefits for having a business credit. Not just like a business credit card, but a business credit. So what I'm saying is business credit. Think about your own credit that you have. If you use your Social Security number to get a credit card, well, your credit card is attached to your Social Security number. If you pay off that credit card, well, you're going to get a high credit score because you're able to repay. The credit is really, really good. Banks and other financial institutions are going to say, hey, Bob Jones over here, he pays back his debt all the time. I'm going to give him more credit. I'm going to give him more ability to borrow money from me. And so when you build up your own personal credit, banks look at you as somebody that's going to pay off a loan, so they'll give you even more. Same thing with your business. With your business, you want to build your own business credit. So with business credit, banks will be able to give you even more and more things. So here's a few of the amazing things about your business credit. Number one, the value of your business goes up with better credit. Like if somebody's going to buy your business from you, more than likely, they're also going to look at your business credit. Like, are you actually making your payments? Are you, is the business going well enough so that you can pay off your debt? If you have a lot of missed payments, they're going to be wondering about your business. Hey, is that business actually doing well? Why can't they pay their debts? So the value of your business goes up because people or companies, other businesses look at your business credit as an asset. That's more money they can borrow. That's more money they can use. So the value of your business goes up. Another great benefit is flexibility. Flexibility to not be reactive to things, but you can be proactive. Let's say you need money to fix up a house. You need to be able to tap into credit because you don't have any cash. Your cash is tied up in another property. Well, you can tap into a loan, or you can tap into, your credit cards, or you can use your business credit and be flexible to be able to spend your money. Let's say you wanted to hold on your cash to buy another property. Well, you didn't want to use your cash. You wanted to use a credit card or some sort of credit that you have with another company. You can absolutely do that. Another one is personal control over your cash. Goes right in with flexibility. If you want to hold on to your cash for a future purchase as opposed to using your cash, then absolutely you can do that. You can use your credit instead of your cash. So you can control your cash. So you don't have to always pay cash. You can use your credit. Now, a business credit also provides cash flow to keep the business moving. Let's say you're running low on cash, but you need to buy some inventory to then sell that inventory to make more money. Well, you buy it with credit and then pay it back after you sold the inventory. Many different ways that you can keep the cash flow moving in and out. And it's said, if you run out of cash, then your business dies. Like your business runs on cash. And if you don't have cash and you can't use credit, then your business is dead. So you use the credit to help cash flow keep moving inside the business. Another great thing, lower interest rates than regular credit cards or other credit cards. Businesses see other businesses, or what I should say is banks see a business credit as, hey, this guy's going to be, or this company that I'm going to be lending this money to, hopefully they're going to be doing a lot of money. Hopefully they're going to be a successful business. And so we want their business here with us. And so you're possibly going to get lower interest rates than on, like personal credit cards. You could also get much higher credit limits than you would if you had your own personal name on a credit card. Limits like instead of $10,000, and maybe give you like $50,000 or $90,000 or $100,000. Not saying you need all that, but it's it's a great benefit. You can have higher credit limits. You also have better terms for repayment. Now, every single bank and every single institution are going to have different terms and different ways that they want repayment and different types of criteria and things that are going to have inside the repayment and all the terms that they're going to have in the loan. But you will have slightly better terms on the repayment and everything about the loan. Also, another great benefit, lenders offer lower rates to businesses with good credit. So not just, for credit cards, but for home loans. If you're buying another investment property, you're using money to fix up the property. You're using a secured line of credit to fix up the property. You get better rates when you have better credit on your business. You also have no personal guarantee. Now, you will have a personal guarantee. Some banks might require it, but you don't have to use them. You can go to another bank that does not require a personal guarantee. Now, that's great because, and God forbid, something bad did happen. And what bad happened was you lost your business. Now you have all this debt. Well, you're not personally liable. The business is liable, not you. Obviously, we want to pay off our debts, but at the same time, this is just another perk, another benefit, is that your no personal guarantee on the credit. Also, there are plenty of business perks in general when you sign up for cards, like high signing bonuses for signing up for things. You also have separate credit histories from your personal, accounting. So all your credit cards from your personal and your business are separate. So a high signing bonus would be something like you have a business credit card perk where you actually get cash back every single month. For example, one of my credit cards, I get 2% cash back on every single thing I purchase. Like literally 2% cash back. That's a lot of money coming back in your pocket when most credit cards give you zero cash back. Also, other great things are startup rewards. Like as soon as you sign up for the credit card, you get $500 or $300. Now, a lot of us have seen personal accounts or personal credit cards where you would get $100 for signing up or $200 for signing up. Let me give you something that I did recently. I recently got a credit card that gave me $500 in startup rewards, basically $500 credit towards my account just for signing up for the credit card. And on top of that, I also got 2% cash back on everything I purchased. So let me really roll it out for you. To get the $500, they wanted me to spend $3,000 on the credit card in 3 months. Now, I know a lot of people might be thinking, wow, how do you spend $3,000? Or man, I easily can spend $3,000 or whatever you might be thinking. But this is what I did. I knew that I had some property taxes coming up. Not necessarily property taxes because you don't necessarily want to pay those because you get to hit some fees. But let's look at other business expenses that you might want to put on your credit card. I had many homeowners insurance or renters, landlord insurance that I had to pay. Well, in just doing that alone, I destroyed that $3,000, purchase that I needed to make in like 2 days. Like I knew that they were coming up. What I did was I got the credit card in time to pay all of those insurance, homeowners insurance and landlord insurance, got all that taken care of, and I made $500. Now, here's the amazing thing. Not just making $500 for the startup, for spending $3,000. This also gave me 2% cash back, which after spending $3,000, I made another $100 on top of that. And with that, so that's $600 just for paying things I would normally have paid on my own, but I used a business credit card. It's just absolutely fantastic. Let me give you one more amazing thing about the business credit card. So I got 2 different credit cards. Actually, I've got many different credit cards because right now I don't really need my credit. So I just get credit cards left and right from, airline miles or cash back or whatever it might be. I love doing that. But here's a great thing. With my business credit that I use to get credit cards, I got an American Airlines credit card for myself and one separate for my wife. Now, in September, we're going to be flying to Washington, D.C. from Phoenix. And I looked it up, how much it's going to cost for us to fly there, all 6 of us, because we have a conference there. It's going to be a business write-off, but at the same time, I'm going to have, take my family all through, the East Coast to see all the history and all that great stuff. So we're super excited about that. But it was going to cost me $2,500 to fly there with my entire family. Now, obviously, I'm going to pay for it. It'll be a business expense just flying there. All the things we do on our personal time, that's not an expense, but everything that's for the business is an expense. So what I did instead was I looked up $2,500 to get the tickets. Well, how much if I used airline miles? How much would that cost in airline miles? It turns out it would cost 150,000 airline miles. And I was thinking, wow, that's a lot of miles. How do you do that? Because you usually see, a normal credit card comes in and says, here, get 2,000 miles or get 10,000 or 15 or 20,000 miles. Well, with my business, I got business credit cards, one for myself and one for my wife. One for myself was 80,000 miles just for getting the credit card. Like I didn't have to spend a penny. I just got the credit card. And with that, I got 80,000 miles. It's like, wow, we're, more than halfway there. Now I got to get a credit card for my wife. So I then got a credit card for 70,000 miles for my wife. And I think we have to spend like $3,000 in the next 3 months, which, with 4 kids, we'll easily pay for that with food and all that stuff. But how amazing. Now with 2 credit cards, and I'm not spending a dime. Actually, I think there might be, I'll take that back. There might be a annual fee of like $95 on each card. Well, I'll pay the $95 so that, twice. So it'll be $200 out of my pocket, but it'll save me $2,500 and I'll cancel it at the end of the year so I don't pay it again. But what's amazing is that $2,500 in airline fees, I will not have to pay. That's basically money in my pocket because I got credit cards with my business credit. Some other great things that I have gotten with my business credit, like I got an Alaska Airlines credit card. It gave me 60,000 miles. I think I only had to spend like $500 in that like 2 or 3 months, but I got 60,000 miles from Alaska Airlines. I fly to Alaska, go fishing, hunting all the time. So I was like, shoot, that's plenty of money, miles to fly there and back plenty of times. Another great thing that I just recently did, I switched to Verizon as a cell phone carrier. Now, I went into the Verizon store and I was talking to them, and it turns out with my business line, because I had a business, because I established my business credit, they gave me, this is what I got, a minimum of 2 lines. Usually it's 4 lines if you just, get on your own. But 2 lines, which is just my wife and myself. I don't need any more lines. All my 4 kids, like they're going to be 17 when they get a phone. I'm not giving them a phone yet. Anyways, long story short, they keep asking for phones, but I'm not giving them to them because it costs money and they don't need them. Anyways, all that to say, we pay $45 per line for 2 lines. So $90 a month for 2 lines. Unlimited everything. Unlimited, like data, everything is unlimited. That was the best. I went to T-Mobile, I went to AT&T, I went everywhere, Sprint, and this was by far by $30 cheaper than everybody else for unlimited. Absolutely amazing, but only because I had a business account set up with them. On top of that, they also gave me $200 credit to buy a Galaxy 9, which is, the newest Galaxy right now. Absolutely love the phone. It's been fantastic. But on top of that, turning in my old broken phones, like literally both of them had cracked screens and all that sort of stuff, I got $200 more credit on my phone. So instead of paying like $800, I think I'm spending like $400. And I was thinking, you know what? This is a great deal. Now, more than likely, there's probably other companies that can probably get you this, but I found this, and this is the best one that I can get out of all the other companies. So let me give you one other great thing that I was able to do with my business credit. You also can get business loans for your business. Now, not just like loans, like if you have a retail establishment to get cash, but you can also which is, that's one of the options. But also you can get commercial loans on real estate rental properties. I actually bundled loans together. So basically, not bundled loans, but bundled properties together to get one bundled loan. I took 4 properties and all 4 of those together, instead of doing 4 different loans, I went with one bank. I think it was like US Bank or something like that. And they gave me a bundle loan, basically all 4 properties connected in one loan, so that there's all the fees are taken care of one time. I don't have to do 4 of them. I don't have to go through the paperwork 4 different times. I don't have to have 4 different payments. It's all under one loan. And with that, I took cash out from those 4 properties, took all that cash out, got a really good interest rate. I got good terms and everything, but it was because I used my business credit. I got a commercial loan with that business credit. Now I bundled them all together. Now, a great part with US Bank, when I did it, they allowed me, it's in the contract that if I wanted to, instead of, having to pay off the entire bundle all at once, if I took all 4 properties, sometimes it might be all tied together. It's all or nothing, but they have it so that I can sell off one property or pay off one property, or basically it can be separated. Even though they're bundled together, they're separated so that I could pay off one or sell one. And then anyways, it's great. You want to establish a business credit. Now, how do you do that? How do you establish a business credit? Again, I'm going to say, talk to your accountant. I'm just giving you the broad overview. Don't take me as an accountant. I hate accounting. I got a D in accounting 4A in college. I literally got a D. I had to take it over again. Then I passed. I got a C. And then accounting 4B is the second one, to get your business degree. I passed that with a C, but I hated it. I literally hated it. Not saying I couldn't do it. I hated it. So did I say I hated it? Yes, I absolutely hate doing accounting. That's why I love paying my accountant. I don't love paying anybody other than 2 people, my accountant and my property manager, because they do so much work for me that I don't want to do. Okay, now let me give you steps to establish your business credit. Number 1, obviously if you have one rental property, you have a business, like I said before. But the first thing you need to do, you need to incorporate your business. That's with starting an LLC. That is with creating a company that is going to be running all the business aspects. So incorporating your company. Now, I'm going to give you a bunch of things that are in my resources page. And all these links that I ever give in my podcast, so, it's kind of like a little footnote inside this one little podcast. But everything inside all the links, I actually put them inside the notes. So as you're listening on your phone or, wherever you're listening to, if you hit like the notes or like the description, I actually put all the links inside there. So you can click on those links in order to jump to where I'm actually saying. So the links that I tell in this podcast will be inside the description. And so with those links that I give, one of them is go to my resources page. I have so many resources that are going to help you to build your business even better. And in my resources page, I have so many free and discounted things and coupon codes and all that good stuff for you to be able to build your business with it. Now go to masterpassiveincome.com/resources. Again, that's masterpassiveincome.com/resources, and you'll see everything that I'm talking about here. So number 1 is incorporate your business. You want to create an LLC. Don't create an S corporation. Don't create a C corporation. Just create an LLC. And inside my resources page, I show you how to create your LLC, where to create it, and all that good stuff. Also, the next step. So 1 was incorporate. Number 2, you need to create a federal tax identification number. Even though it's federal tax identification number, the IRS actually calls it EIN, employer identification number. It's just like your social security number, but just for your business. So you want to get a federal tax identification number. Super easy. Just type in EIN, like obtain EIN or apply for EIN in some sort of web search. It'll easily take you right to the IRS page. Super simple how to do that. It'll walk you through. Totally easy to do. Your third step, open a business bank account. Absolutely a must. Open a business bank account. What I suggest is through Capital One. That's how I run everything through there. There's also Chase. There's basically any any bank will create a business checking account and business savings account. So go to my resources page. You'll be able to find some good stuff there on how to do all this stuff and give you some resources for it. Next one, after opening your business bank account, have a business phone number. Now your phone number is probably just going to be your cell phone. Just make sure you use that as your business phone number. The next step, and this is where it's going to be kind of exploded out a little bit more, meaning I'm going to give you all these steps, but this one step will have a bunch of steps in it. You need to establish a business credit. Just because you apply for EIN doesn't mean you have credit. Just like, if you have a kid, they get a social security number. Well, that just because they have a social security number does not mean that they have credit yet, personal credit. So they actually have to utilize the credit in order to get more credit. So you need to establish business credit. Now, the last step, and I'll get into establishing on how to do that in just a second, but I want you to look at your business credit just like as your personal credit. You need to pay your bills on time. Pay all your bills on time. Make sure you don't go into default or you don't have any delinquencies or anything like that or late payments. You want to pay everything on time. That's going to keep your business credit. Now, how to establish your business credit. When you first start your business, you need to establish trade credit. So your first step is establishing trade credit. It'd be kind of like, when you're a kid, more than likely you got like a gas card, from like Chevron or Exxon or whatever company, because they give those out like they're candy. And so you get one of those business credit cards, or even if you're going to college, all the credit card companies that stand outside that have you walk by and, come get a free t-shirt and we'll give you a credit card and give us lots of your money and we'll get you in huge debt and take all your money. That's what those guys do. But when you're starting your business credit, you want to establish trade credit. Now, trade credit would be basically like you go into a company and say, hey, Bob, I'm going to buy, I need like 3 widgets and 4 of these, just, put on my account. It's basically a business account at that business. They're not necessarily running, you're like getting a credit card, but it's an account with them that your business is over. Now, at the same time, it's going to be using your EIN number that you just got. It's going to be using that, but that's going to be building your credit. And in the podcast show notes, and the podcast show notes are masterpassiveincome.com/042. This is the 42nd podcast. I'm going to have 5 different companies and 5 different links for you to establish trade credit. One would be Uline. Uline's a company that creates boxes. Another one would be Quill Office Supplies. Another one would be Granger Industrial Supplies. And a couple others, like even creating a secured credit card, Wells Fargo Business Secured Credit Card. Basically, that is you actually put your own cash into a bank account and you use that. It's actually an account. You're going to be making money, interest on it, but your credit is secured by that cash. If you put $10,000 in, well, you're borrowing not necessarily against the $10,000, but your credit is secured by the $10,000. So that at any time you default on it, they can take that money out. So all that to say, go to masterpassiveincome.com/042, and I will give you the links to where you can build these trade credits because you want to establish credit first, and this is the best way to go. Next, after that, and this is only if you want to, you can establish fleet credit. That's where you're getting cars or leasing vehicles or things like that. But with the fleet credit, you can finance 1 or more vehicles with no personal credit reporting. So this is all under the company. Not saying you need to do this at all, but this is an option. So you can actually lease your car and it'd be under your business as opposed to your own personal name. So, other fleet credit card things that you can get like fuel, tires, major repairs, for your vehicles and stuff like that. So usually it's, $4,000, $5,000 credit limits up to like 20 or 30, but that's an option, fleet credit. And if you need to find that, I don't know any because I've never done it, but probably type in some search in the internet to, establish fleet credit or get fleet credit. Your next step would be to get retail credit. Super simple. Just like you would normally get a regular credit card for yourself, what you're going to be doing is getting a credit card for your business. Now, you want to also try to get above credit score of like 680, 700 or above. But if you've been paying everything else off fine, like Uline, Quill, or Granger, you've been paying those fine, your credit's going to be good. So now you want to establish retail credit. That would be going to like Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy, Sprint, Costco, all that sort of stuff. You want to use your business EIN number instead of your own personal number and get credit cards from them. And again, like I said, pay everything off, do everything right. Don't waste your credit. So in doing this, you're establishing even more credit. You want to get more, not saying get a bunch of these. Don't get me wrong. Maybe get 2. Get one at Home Depot and one, a credit card through Amazon or something like that, and utilize that. That's going to build your credit. Now, here's the last thing in establishing your business credit is your cash credit. Now, your cash credit, because you have built up your regular credit, you will have a credit record with big name reporting agencies like Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. Those are for businesses reporting. You can get a higher limit of revolving lines of credit. A line of credit, basically, they say you have $100,000. You can dip into it, borrow $30,000, and then as you pay it back, you pay less in interest. It's like a credit card, but it's a line of credit. And so basically, you can use this money to finance the purchase of a property. You can use it to rehab properties, all the costs for rehabbing, you can use that. And so these are lines of credit with no restriction on the use of funds. Like, it's not like a credit card, like you have to go to a merchant account or a business that had, a credit card swiping thing. You can literally get these funds put in your bank account so then you can use the funds. But you do have to abide by, all the terms in the contract, which you'll get that. But what I want for you is to start building your business credit. Now, all of this is basically going to help you to build your business even better. Like I said, just by having a business credit, I got $2,500 in airline airline tickets paid for because of miles. I made $600 just by spending what I would have spent. So I want you to get out there, build your business. Again, go to my resources page, masterpassiveincome.com/resources, so that you can see everything in there. Also, everything is going to be in the show notes of how to do this step by step, masterpassiveincome.com/042. All right, guys. Now, if you found value from today's show or all of my shows or any of the other episodes, I would appreciate it if you shared this with a friend. Share it with somebody that would be interested in rental properties or in this business credit or anything like this. It really helps because I value word of mouth. Like, I get many students from other people who said, "Hey, you're helping this guy or this gal. Can you help me out?" I'm like, yeah, a referral is one of the best ways that you can show love to me and the person that you're going to be helping out. So if you got value from today's show, please share it with a friend. But you guys have been fantastic. Oh, one more thing I want to give you. If you have not started investing in real estate rental properties, I want to give you a free investing course. Go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. masterpassiveincome.com/free course. I'm going to give you a free investing course that many people have used and gotten their start in real estate rental properties. Go there, grab your course. All right, guys, thank you so much for being a part of the show. I super, super love that you guys are here with me. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys next week. You guys get out there, start investing, start building that business credit so you can change your life and never work a job again. All right, guys, peace out.